Our first EP collab, man. Open play of the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest vibe. Challenges with it. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stressing. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All these lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like bowling at pint golf strikes no gutter. Attracted to the mind but I like mine's hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hey. Oh, look at the cat trying to get seen into the camera. I will blur my background. In the meantime, welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. In the back, I have Oso the cat. We have James here from Watch Your Mouth Reviews.
Yes.
James. Hey. I am not live on Facebook. For those who may wander over here from the live replay, like, why isn't she on Facebook? Facebook gives me problems sometimes. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I don't want to deal with Facebook.
That's good to know in the circumstances of me wanting to stream to that audience. So everyone tells me there's hiccups, but I don't know I don't know my Facebook password. So
James, how you don't know your password?
Because I can't tell you the last time I logged into Facebook.
Lord, well, you're not missing shit. I can tell you that. So sorry, my cat was attending and demanding attention. But we're here to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami season 6, episode 6, something like that. The episode's titled "Keep It on the Low." The episode didn't really give us a lot. It was a lot of lows. So let's start with Flo. Florence Luce is upset with Marlon. We see Marlon trying to come in the house, and he is stopped and has a struggle when he discovers that she has changed the locks. And I'm trying to be cool and like understanding, but then another piece of me is just like, I don't buy their storyline. We talked about it before without getting into the wise, but I just don't buy Flo and Marlon's storyline. James has said this relationship is fake and that Marlon's allowing it. And now it look like he's ready to come back home. And therefore, now they have to stage this breakup. So, you know, Flo is basically upset at Marlon because he exposed that they, you know, been sleeping together at the party in front of a bunch of people, her business people. Like, these people have no sense of professionalism. It's a little pathetic. And I'm concerned it's going to have people who are ignorant enough to believe what they see on this show be thinking that they can behave this way in the regular everyday world. That's my only concern about this bullshit. But she does confirm she's behind on rent. So I will let James speak now because I ain't got much for these people.
Because I'm gonna say this. The problem that I have with this whole equation of Flo Marlon is y'all are faking the funk so much on this show. When Flo is so behind on bills and all kind of like, it's not adding up here. Their storyline is not adding up. I believe she is about to get evicted. I do believe that. But as far as her being mad at Marlon, changing the locks and locking him out and all this kind of stuff, this is for the show. Mm-hmm. This is for the show. I don't bit more believe these two are having problems. I don't bit more believe these two are into it. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, you've said that from the beginning.
Yeah,
I think it's hard for a lot of us to believe, and I think we can agree that the only thing I do believe is that she's behind on the rent. And I'm not saying that to throw shade at her. I've actually been a person who was evicted years ago, so I have no shame. It is hard to make the rent, especially depending on where you live, and they're in Florida, so it's expensive as hell. But you know, I don't know. But we're going to move it along. Next thing we'll see and discuss is Trick Daddy. He is allowing his son to get into music. So we see his son in the studio. And I will say that it seems like Trick has done a good job in raising his child. I will give him that. The song his son was doing, though, it sounded like a song that a lot of people are doing. I want to see the boy. If he can sing, do vocals without so much auto-tune. If you're a rapper, then rap. We have enough songs that sound like the one that we saw. So I'll leave it there. But Trick wants to have a 50-year hip-hop celebration basically for the South. Hip-hop just celebrated a milestone of its existence as a genre of music that's respected and all of these things. There have been multiple celebrations. Most of them have been in New York or California because essentially, in my opinion, though there were lots of rappers in the South, you know, such as Outkast and, you know, so many more. Look at No Limit, all them people. But at the same time, they acknowledged all of hip hop on East and West Coast. They did. So Trick wants to have one specifically for the South. It seems like for Miami. He wants his son to perform. Here's the thing. When I think of Trick Daddy as a Southern rapper, I do think of him as being somebody who's from the South. But I think about the time that he was popular before I think of where he's from now. No shade to anybody from the 305 or Miami. No shade to y'all at all. But to most people, nobody really gives a flying fuck where you from. Sometimes where you from is not really important or a big deal to people who not from there. Miami seems similar to the Bay in certain areas in New York where it seems like, you know, they're like, I'm from here, I'm proud, this and that. And that's good. But y'all, we'll see. I don't know who he's going to call, but he'll call people. Do you have any comments on his idea?
You know, I agree with you because it's for me, when he said that, I was like, I mean, because I don't think of him as like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, Atlanta. I don't think of him like those are Southern rappers to me, like Paul Wall, Juvenile, like people like Birdman. All of them like are Southern rappers.
From the South. Yeah.
Yeah. So for him to kind of play along this as him including himself in that, I was kind of like,
what?
I don't get that. Because like to me, yeah, they had a style of rap. Him and Trina both. They definitely have a style of rap, but their style of rap was not that. First of all, Trina talks 55 miles per hour like Nicki Minaj does in her music.
Yeah.
And Trick had like that almost like hardcore, like Tupac-ish kind of like the flow.
I'm gonna just say this: when I think of lyricists, the talented rappers, legends, people that others want to learn from, I don't think of Trick Daddy. I am not taking away from his accolades. I am not taking away from the many hits he has, which are features, not him singularly. I am just saying that I don't think of that. There's a lot of artists that are from and still reside in Miami who are larger than Trick and Trina. So I always say when someone refers to themselves as the self-proclaimed king and queen, prince or princess, you know, or whatever of a city or an area, that usually means they're not, because true royalty is not walking around saying I'm the queen, because the
shout out to Karen
knows,
Huger and everybody.
It's true. That people don't know you are the queen. You don't have to explain it. So I will leave that there. We'll come back to it. We're going to move through this recap really fast, James and audience, because Love and Hip Hop Miami thus far this season is, in my opinion,
it's a disappointment.
A little bit.
Like I'm disappointed more so because when we put in our time and energy into like series and television and everything like this, we want y'all to give. Part of the problems I have on my channel, the shows that I recap, is that a lot of them are not giving what they used to give circa 2011, 2012. These were the things that got us hooked on that. And I think the only thing that keeps us hooked is our blind loyalty to all these franchises.
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop Miami is one of them, because in the beginning they were great and then they started to fade away.
Yeah. Yeah. This side note, I feel that way with Grey's Anatomy. I'm just watching to be loyal, but after Derek, I was really done.
Grey's Anatomy has 377 seasons, like General Hospital. No one.
I've watched every single one of them too. Every single one.
God bless you. God bless you.
I'm crazy, but yeah, I'm done with the show. I'm over it. It's supposed to be coming back, but I don't know. My husband think I'm gonna watch it, y'all, but I don't think I will. Anywho, moving it along. If you're watching the live replay, we appreciate you. We welcome you, and we hope that you are able to like the video, comment your opinion, subscribe to the channel. James's channel is in the description of this video, you guys. We appreciate you all. We did see Safaree doing a movie. He's got a woman all on him, and you know, the things that Safaree does is not even acting at this point. And I just said, as soon as I saw, oh, Safaree's in it, must be a Tubi flick. It's Tubi, BT, maybe Lifetime if he has a good.
No, it's Tubi, BT, TV One, and what's her name? Tamika's ex-husband. He's the president and CEO of Bounce TV. That's that one too.
Not Bounce. I'm so done.
Yeah, you know, Tamika's ex-husband is the president and CEO of that. So yeah.
Lord help us. But you know, the little low budget networks, the free subscriptions, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. So Eliza Rain comes in, and I'm just like, dang, suddenly you everywhere. I could have swore you said you was a realtor. You coming in, looking at Safaree, talking about you turned on by him being with somebody else. And I'm just like, damn, bitch, you ain't sold a house since your first season. And we never really saw you sell a house. You just had Amara come up in the house while y'all had a conversation. So I'm just kind of like, girl, you say you want to be more known for more than just being a bot popping from nigga to nigga, but it's starting to give that. That's all I'm gonna say. So Eliza Rain tells Safaree that she told Bobby Lights as well as Miami Tip when they made peace about the fact that he that they are an item. And then Amara's name comes up because they have made peace. And mind you, she was supposed to be Amara's friend. That's how she was brought on the show. And Eliza now says the only reason she went for Safaree in the sexual way is because she was not cool with Amara. They was falling out. I have a problem with this. She says now that they are that cool, she feels like she's going against girl code. Let me explain something to you hoes. Girl to girl. Girl code applies even when you don't mess with a girl no more. You can have beef with a girl. There's girls that I done beat up. There's girls that done beat me up. There's girls that I just don't talk to no more. But I'm not going to go date their ex. I'm not going to date their men. I feel like it's okay from the perspective of, yes, you know, if once you're moved on, you're moved on. However, girls understand how the shit works. You have options as a woman for who you choose to date. And I don't see why you would go for your friend's ex or want someone that someone you known had dealt with. I don't understand how you would want that. I don't view it as a flex. It's just very strange to me. The other thing I had an issue with, so you're admitting that when your friends make you mad, you just gonna go sleep with their men or their exes or who's
pretty much. That's what she said.
Like, so I'm just looking at Eliza like, girl,
she's weird. Like, she's just strange to me. Like, I was watching her and I was like, your logic is just
not logicking.
Yeah, it's, like, you cannot think that makes common sense. Like, you can't. And it's funny is like someone has said on Instagram that a lot of women think like this. Like, a lot of women do think like, oh, well, I can just go ahead and just you don't want him, so I'm just gonna talk to him and stuff like that. Don't know the history, don't know he could have been the problem, and there you go putting yourself in harm's way, not knowing. Because what ends up happening is these men end up cheating, and then these women are like, oh my God, I know you cheated, and this, and it's like, sure you did. Sure you did. Your friend told you. I'm sure she did.
Hot mess. Hot fucking mess. I'm just annoyed with it all. But at the end of this conversation, Safaree don't want nobody to know they dating. And her dumb ass agrees. I don't want to be with nobody, not a friend, not a man, not a side, nothing. Nobody who feels that they have to hide me. I don't want it. So, I mean, if that's what she wants and that's what she agrees to.
Right.
Bitches like her, though, I'm not surprised. I'm so sorry. I am not surprised. She followed into every negative stigma, stereotype, the definition of all types of things I can't say on here. And I'll leave it there. So we did see Trick Daddy counting on Joy. He wants Trick Daddy. I can't remember the name of everybody who was there, but Trick Daddy, basically his team, the guy Big D, Joy, and Trina are supposed to be meeting to discuss the Miami HipHop event that Trick wants to do that we discussed earlier. He says he wants the theme to be kind of like an adult prom because he didn't go to prom. Listen, I'm gonna need people to stop who did not go to high school because they was running around fast as hell. They'd be like, I had to struggle for this for my mama. When half of y'all was just in somebody else's garage laid up making your teen child. Listen, stop it. I didn't go to prom. Okay. So I understand people have not gone to prom, but some people did go and don't want to like relive that. So I just
Right. Like, don't want to relive it. Don't want to
it's supposed to
like
be an event for
place
hip
it because
hop
when you
too.
think of all the money you spent just for that one little day, and I don't know where y'all went to prom at on your year,
I
but
didn't
we were
go.
at the Galleria in San Francisco, and it literally looked like the set of the prom night movie that they created that same year, and we were all like, uh. like, what is going on here?
Listen, I did not go to prom. I did have the opportunity to go, but I didn't go to either. I didn't go to my junior or senior
Well,
prom.
you didn't miss out on nothing. In my year, let me explain something. People were so shady against me. Everyone thought I took my damn cousin to prom. And I
Damn.
was like, y'all really thought I can't get nobody for real? Y'all gonna say that was my cousin?
See, I didn't. I met Mr. Best in my junior year, so that's why I missed junior prom because I was like I couldn't go. And I think I went to jail too. I got in trouble, and then the following year I did. The following year I just didn't want to go. I had a date. He would have came. Like my grandmother was like, "I'll buy you whatever you want," and I never been into prom or dances. I hate school dances. I'm weird.
Especially not even. They were terrible.
Yeah, yeah, they were. I went to one winter ball. It was like, oh, okay, this isn't happening again.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, everybody on Trick's team meets. He wants an adult prom for the theme of his hip hop event. And Trina's late. Nobody can start the event. Everybody was there on time except for Trina, who was with Joy. And she's late by a couple hours. And then she comes in frustrated with the planning and wanting to say, that, it's Trick's team and confessionals, they're unprofessional. He seems to do business just fine without you. And I'm saying this for a reason because it seems like Trina likes to blame everybody else's teams like hers is fucking perfect. Didn't you? This coming from the same lady who had the manager who was stealing from her for years and years and then fucked over Amada? Or the same lady who decided to date somebody who was
Wasn't
on
it the same dude that started working at Trick's restaurant? I'm just asking the question. I don't know. I felt like that was the same dude, wasn't it?
Trina is a woman past 40 dating a man that nobody knows called Swerve. And she thinks she can say anything to anybody about professionalism when she shows up looking tired everywhere because she ignores doctor's orders for getting rest. So I don't have time for Trina. I'm really tired of her on this show. I loved Trina, but seeing her on this show, I'm starting to
Yeah, it's starting to be like when Kelly Price was on R&B Divas LA the first season. And when I tell you, I used to love me some Kelly Price. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. But when she went on R&B Divas LA,
she acted
my
a fool
God.
though. She did act a fool.
It was like, wow. So Trina's doing that. I'm having that exact same feeling with Trina as I did Kelly Price. And I don't want that for Trina because Trina, honestly, she's a legend. She's an icon. Like, we blasted her music in the Bay Area. We really did, especially Here We Go. That was everybody's song. Like, everybody knew the rap, everybody knew the lyrics, everyone tried to hit the Kelly rolling high note. But it was like one of those situations where I hate for that legacy to be tarnished by her bad attitude, demeanor, and how she moves. Like, that's just.
You can tell she's not going to see it, and that all of the things she's dealt with, like grief, with her mother, her niece, she's not taking the time away to heal herself. And I think it's impacting her already bad attitude. But just because someone was passed on who was important to you does not give you the right to behave this way. Yeah. Everyone leaves, though. When she's a little annoyed when she gets there because of it, I think that's the right thing. How dare you show up somewhere late and then be difficult and then say that the only way you're going to deal with the event, like you have to be the face of it. Why do you need to be the face if this is 50 years of hip hop? Honey, if it's 50 years in hip hop, there are other female rappers we called too before Trina and who are doing some things. So Trina's well known in Miami, but I always go back to this. Love and Hip Hop is a show that came on television about people who are a part of the music industry still struggling in it to get to that top tier position. And they called Trina to open the Miami part. What did she have going on prior to being on the show? She had shows and stuff because she has a very loyal fan base, but she did not have enough going on to where Love and Hip Hop didn't think to call. They're not thinking to call Jermaine Dupri or the Brat for their show. They're not thinking of doing that for Atlanta, and they're in Atlanta. Instead, they call Rashida and Kurt, she who raps like Shawty Lo. So what I'm trying to say is, though she's done a lot, careers do this, and at the time she was contacted, hers was doing that. So
Well, and to be fair, like, yeah, I get what you're saying in terms, but I feel like for me, I don't think there's anybody else that could have done Love and Hip Hop Miami but her and Trick. So I felt like, because with LA, we didn't had all kind of people who were once, I don't want to call them has-beens because that's me. But we had all kind of people up in there that once were at the top of their game and to some extent fell out. We had Brooke Valentine on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. You had B2K, well, at least 3 out of the 4 were on Love and Hip Hop. And then, surprisingly, one season we had Keisha Cole. So it was one of the situations where you have to kind of understand, like, yeah, they call upon these rappers that were once at the top of their game. But what these rappers are not doing is they are, how do I say it? They're not being appreciative that this is an opportunity to revitalize your career. And what you get on this TV and do is show that you stank. Yeah. That's what Trina is doing.
That's exactly what she's done. You said exactly how I felt. But if you look at all the examples James gave as well, they all moved on from the show at one time or another.
Keisha Cole just did one season and she was done.
She was like, I ain't with listen, but they move on, they take what they got from it, and then they use that and they continue on. Now she's doing shows left and right, thriving shit. I mean, hey, what the hell?
Real quick, because I want to play a little game. We got a little bit of time. Real quick. If you had to throw in an all-girl cast for Love and Hip Hop, it could be any city. What singers that were at the top of their game but not anymore, would you think would give a top tier show? Because I have my cast if you don't have yours yet.
I've never thought about that.
Well, because this show is so crazy that I was thinking about it when I was watching it. I was like, who would really turn Love and Hip Hop out if we had to bring a cast together? So I'm going to tell you, I would bring together, and this is going to sound crazy as hell, but roll with me. I would bring back K. Michelle. Mm-hmm. I would throw in Kiki Wyatt. Oh, Lord. I would throw in Tamar Braxton. Oof. I would throw in oh my God, what was that? What is her name? And I keep Latoya Luckett, because I want somebody sensible on here. I would throw in there was another rapper. I can't think of her name, but she was on one of these seasons and I liked her, and then she got off the show real quick. Oh. But I would throw all of them in this TV show, and I guarantee you, because I could just see K. Michelle and Kiki Wyatt getting into it. I just couldn't see it, and I would love to see that.
The eyebrows, Kiki and that eyebrow.
And hell, throw Keisha Cole there to be messy. I don't know.
Yeah, Keisha Cole messy as hell, child. Listen, maybe throw one of her siblings in there, but
Neffy.
yep, Presbyterian. Bring her in there. But no, that would probably be an interesting concept. Don't be stealing his idea because he
right. Give my money. I'm not playing with you, Mona. Because I know you. Yeah. I don't want to come on Love and Hip Hop. I'm not Yandy. You can't bring me on here 15 seasons and have it never pay me. Pay me my money.
Lord help him. Lord, y'all, you're hella funny. So we did see Amada, Princess Love, and Brooke Valentine meet up. Eliza shows up. You guys have to stop with the plastic surgery. It's out of control. It was a strange meetup. All I'm going to say, because I didn't care, they talked about, dating and bullshit. I don't waste my time on things that are just like, Amara, you never seem to be able to maintain friendships with anybody except for the new cast members. I want you to leave this show or interact with everybody else and be real. Is there anything you'd like to add from their little meetup?
No, there's something I want to add because I agree with you. She needs to. She's acting um, like there was. I remember there was somebody who was like the front of the opening credits and then never was on the show. I'm trying to think of who this was. I'm trying to think. Wasn't it Chrisette Michelle and R&B Divas? Yeah, it was. I remember Chrisette Michelle left the show, the third episode, but she was in the front of the credits the entire time. I said, y'all is really using this name, but at least she had accolades. See, Amara La Negra has people who are way surpassed her in career-wise on this show. So it doesn't make sense for her to be so stank and not film with anybody when, ma'am, if this show goes tomorrow, will you be okay? That's the question I would like to know. Will you be okay if they were to say, okay, your contract's not being renewed?
She's done a lot in the Spanish community too, but I don't know. I just feel like people who can't interact with the bulk of the cast need to go.
I feel like Sukihana is going to be fine if she were to leave Love and Hip Hop.
Oh yeah, she'd be fine.
I feel like she'd be fine because what she gonna do? She gonna jump on one of them other shows and fight.
Like she's already on another show,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so that's my point exactly. So she knew how to bounce back. I don't think Amara Negra knows how to bounce back because she's too much into her feelings and allowing people to determine how she's going to act in this world. And you can't move like that. Like you just can't.
Yes, Amara is definitely operating like a teenage girl that never got past that insecure stage. Nope. So hopefully she does. But we see Trick speak with his team again. They are explaining basically to him how Trina felt and what she wanted at the previous meeting. He says that he's tired of Trina showing up late. He said he support her all the time, which he does. And she always makes it a problem when she has to support him or he wants to do something. She acts as if she doesn't take it seriously. And I don't think it has to do with the dynamic of him putting her career on or anything like that. He could bring her to the, to the front of the whole fucking stage and we could just not like her and it could have been no Trina. But, so we have to give her some credit. But it is rude to, like, if you guys are supposed to have a friendship, and separate from friendship, if you have a business relationship that's lasted decades, you try to show up for those who have been there for you. Like, I experienced that with my channel. It's new. I have a lot of other creators, artists and stuff. Without them, my channel cannot be where it's at and continue to grow. So I always try to show appreciation, give love, share things, whatever you can do to support those who support you. I think that you should absolutely do it. And Trina does not do that for Trick. So that's essentially what he's saying, even though he looks like an angered Mucinex monster just running
Shout out
around.
to Bondi Blue.
The man just going the fuck off. But he has a point in how he's feeling.
Yeah, he definitely does. And I'm going to say this. I feel like when you really put that into context, the fact that, y'all started together, y'all started this, and the fact that you don't really support him in the idea unless the endeavor comes with a huge check behind it. I just feel like, that's kind of messed up in a way because I feel like still there's a part of you that still needs him. And the fact that he's there is even more character flaw to Trina. And this is why we're saying we hope that she does not shoot herself in the foot.
Because we don't really care for Chuck. He's made a lot of ignorant, stupid comments that can be just interpreted wrong. But he is good to those who he cares about. Trina's one of those. He made the comment, though, and I respected him for this. He said, I'm not doing that. I'm not kissing her ass. Whether Trina shows up or not, we going on with the show. It's going to be a prom thing. Nobody's going to waste time arguing with somebody who's 4 hours fucking late. So Trina comes in, irritated at everyone, talking about, I had a flat tire. So I had a flat tire. Bitch, you did not have a flat tire. Okay? Let me tell you, when you have a flat tire, I don't know how the fuck it goes in Florida, but in California, on the Bay Bridge, in rush hour traffic, in the middle of the week, during commuter hour, I can get AAA or a tow truck to me in under 4 hours. Also, even if it did take you 4 hours for whatever fucking reason, and you say it took 4 hours and the fucking tire is still flat, then why didn't you call? Because the tire being flat ain't impacting the battery and you being able to charge your phone. Other thing, she is a celebrity. She is well known. She not just rolling around like a regular motherfucker. I'm pretty sure if she didn't have a charger, because she seemed like the type that would use every excuse, that somebody in the car driving her did have one or there was somewhere she could walk to get one, because she's Trina and she should have $15 to buy a phone charger from a gas station so that she can call and alert the people. I got a flat tire. Can you either come pick me up, or I'd like you to know that I'm late. So Trina and all her bullshit that she came in with, none of those excuses work. It does not take that long to change a tire, get a tow truck if you don't know how to change one. It don't take that long to even learn how to change a tire. So I don't understand.
So let me tell y'all the person who actually does live in South Florida, people will leave a shit for days on this interstate.
That's ridiculous.
With flat tire and all. I've seen the same car driving up 95. I've seen the same car for literally 10 days sitting on the side of the road. Nobody came and got the car. So I'm gonna be honest, y'all, and this is me being honest. I'm not trying to take up for Trina because I don't care that much. But her story, depending on if she was driving herself, I don't remember. If she was driving herself, I can 100% believe that she stayed out there, because they do. People will sit in their cars on the interstate for hours waiting for somebody to come and get them. And then it don't be no AAA. It be one of their cousins or something come and get them, and then they leave their car right on the interstate.
Why should they use her phone? Why should
I ain't got no reason. No, that I ain't got no.
If
I ain't
you're
got no
late,
explanation.
all you gotta do is like a job. If I'm late for work, like, oh shit, I'm supposed to work at 10. I'm not gonna get there till 10:30.
But like I said, people will sit on the interstate. I'm telling you, when you come visit, I will show you, because there's always one on the interstate just sitting there, just looking crazy, and they're in the express lane in that broken down section. Just cars just flying up and down the road. I guarantee you that's where she was. On the interstate, on the express lane, sitting on the left-hand side of the interstate, just sitting there.
Then why the hell didn't she use her phone to call to let them know?
But I tell you, they don't make sense out here.
Her look worse. What you saying? It's not even taken up for her, because it's like, well, if you're sitting on the interstate and this is a thing in Florida that somebody who ain't even lived in Florida 5 years can figure out, then I'm sure that somebody who's been there for 45 years can figure it out. So why would you not give a phone?
No, I think that's the reason why they have not figured. I think living here that long, they're used to that. See, me, no, it wouldn't be that kind of situation. I'm getting my car off this interstate, because these fools drive like maniacs out here and don't have no clear concept. Like, people drive down the broken down lane. They do. They drive down. They ignorant as hell. They drive down the broken down lane as if that's a lane that they can get off the interstate with. They do that shit crazy. So I'm not gonna leave my car stranded there.
Staying with your vehicle and not leaving it. I wouldn't abandon my vehicle.
No. What I'm saying is, I know to call AAA. Yeah. They don't do that out here. They just don't. They don't do that.
No. She needs to call her people though. If I'm on the side of the road, I'm gonna let someone know.
That's what she did. I'm telling you, that's what she did. She called the people, but the people was late getting there. That's what it was. And then they tried to see if they could fix the car.
I'm talking about, she should have called Trick to let her know I'm having car trouble.
No, she wasn't gonna do that.
That's stupid to not do
that. That's real stupid. She over there on the phone, probably talking to her cousin, when you getting here? Because all these people, and then it's like, I'm trying to get to you with 20 cars behind you. So I'm trying to tell you, that's how that happens.
To me, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse. It's 2024, you have a cell phone. You probably have multiples, because Trina, I would imagine, does. So it's like, girl, stop making excuses. Stop disrespecting people. I apologize for being late. I apologize for being late. Some shit popped up. What we looking at? I'm just sick of her. I really am. So we did see Shay and Fabo and their bullshit.
Didn't see Shay and Fabo? I didn't even see them. They was on
my husband was talking shit. Shay basically and Fabo speak, and he feels as though she should have told him about losing the baby. I agree with him. Regardless on how the baby got here, if you want him to participate and be there for the child, if you want him to be there for you and put it on, and like that's your relationship, allowing your family to be disrespected, then at least act like he's important enough to tell him that you lost.
I agree actually with that. Like, even if y'all wasn't in the best of place, he still got you pregnant, and you lost the baby. He has a right to know, to make his own arrangements of whatever that could be, whatever loss that could be with him. So no, I did agree with that as well.
That gives me a sign, and I don't want to hear no woman. I have had a miscarriage before, so don't tell me I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't think that it makes any sense what she's doing, and I think that what she's doing is an inkling that she's gonna use her child as a weapon when she's feeling bitter or mad at him.
Oh, absolutely.
Moving it along, they're discussing shit. The conversation doesn't go well. Once her mom comes up, he cannot ever admit that he's disrespectful, which he is. We see it constantly. She goes off on him But then she's also disrespected her mom. I feel like Shay is only going off on Fabo because she knows that the audience will not fuck with her if she doesn't defend her mother. But it's not just you defending your mother in your own bullshit way. I want to see you defend your mama in the moment when your mom is coming to you, telling you these things of this man that she not. What does she get out of making it up? Nothing. So I'm sick of Shay and wanting to defend her mom late. So then they move on from her mama somehow, and they start discussing her daughter Shajaya and how her daughter Shajaya has not met Fabo's family. The daughter has not met Fabo's mother. I guess Fabo's mom is bothered by that, which I believe, being that he is Jamaican. She is not okay with that. She avoids it and says, "Do you want to talk about all the different bitches you fucked with?" I'm like, oh. So Shay, no one's going to feel sorry for you. I'm going to put it like this. I feel like Shay is expecting the world to feel sorry for her because she had a fucking miscarriage. Listen, cancel me if you want. I ain't got shit. People have fucking miscarriages all over the world every fucking second. Unfortunately, there is somebody probably having one right now. But just because you have a miscarriage is not going to just make me feel bad for all the shady, fucked up things that one is doing if they are doing that. People are going to respect you and not talk shit about your pregnancy. They should not put their hands on you, and allow you to heal in that space. But why are you attacking everybody on the show? You just fought Eliza for bringing up this man, and the things that she was saying, it turns out, are true. So you're trying to attack Eliza while pregnant for Fabo because she's saying shit that's true about Fabo, which just makes no fucking sense whatsoever to any of us, Shay. And then you say to Fabo on the way out, when you're not getting your way and he don't want to talk about this, well, you're the one who's been stressing me out. You're the reason I lost my baby. I didn't like that. That was emotionally manipulative because we saw you tell us on camera you lost your baby because the fibroids that you have struggled with for years and years, the infertility issue and surgeries we've seen on the show came back, which impacted your pregnancy. So don't tell him he's the reason you lost your baby.
Well, first of all, and then that's another thing. You have a choice to not be with this man.
Right.
After it's been said all over the world and internet that, one, he is married. He has a whole bunch of other kids. And he's engaged to another woman. And I'm sure has babies with her. So I don't understand why you're sitting up here talking about you're stressing me out when you're putting yourself through this by being somebody's other woman. And then you gonna get on TV and say you still fucking other bitches. It was like, well, damn. If you notice what he doing, then why are you participating?
Shay is using, I think, this situation as a way to try and see some type of care out of this man or get something good. You're not going to get it. You are the other woman. You always have been. If you weren't, we would have seen you with this man, heard of this man, seen some sort of hand.
No, all we saw is that he gave you somebody else's test.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all we saw.
I would love to see the title on that. But
me too. Lady, put that out. Whatever your name is, put that out.
No, for real. I'm just over Shay and Fabo. So she ends up walking out. I'm gonna say this. I think Shay needs to leave the show. I am tired of Shay.
Absolutely.
It's been overdue. I don't even care to see her dig herself into the hole that she's digging herself into. I don't care. I'm over it. Shay, at this big age, you should know better. 20 years ago, you was 20 something. So that means you gotta at least be 40 something now, or 40, somewhere between.
We Googled her age the last recap, and she's 41.
Okay, so she's 41. There's no excuse to be acting like this at 41. It scares me for how our elders are going to be in a few years. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna need Shay to pack it up and go somewhere else.
That she's just so. I've just never seen somebody just so desperate for a man.
She never admitted.
Just like, it's so weird. It's like, why are you so desperate to get somebody else's man?
My thing, I don't like what Shay did. You knew this man was married at some point from what we've learned. I don't respect that. I don't care. I know the man is accountable too. I can't stand Fabo's ass, but I'm sick of Shay. Every season that she's had on television, from Flavor of Love to now, has been her acting like a damn fool and getting embarrassed by a man. After so many times, you have to look at the person and stop being mad at these niggas. What are you doing to attract this type of energy into your space? And what can you do to change that for the positive? And I worry for her daughter, and I hope that her daughter looks at her mom and does opposite in the dating round. And that is, it's just who we talking shit about, Lord. It's Love and Hip Hop by Happy XO Vodka. Who we talking shit about? I'm dying. Lord help us. So we're gonna move on to Ray J and Safaree because I really don't have any more energy for Shay. I'm sick of it. Coming in there hobbling but starting to fight. I ain't never seen nobody fresh off surgery arguing so much. People was pissing me off when I had surgery. I didn't give a shit. Put my head under the blanket, find me a Norco. I'm done with you niggas. Went straight to sleep. But Shay is hobbling around starting shit, and I just cannot. Ray J, Safaree, and Marcus, who is Brooke's now husband, all meet up to kick it. Marcus has grown up a lot, and I follow him, so I've watched the growth. They seem to be happy. There's no scandals following him. So congratulations to them, and thank you, because them two was a hot mess. If y'all watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. But
very hot mess. I commend his growth as well, because I just feel like this really solidified that he really does love Brooke
a lot.
And the fact that he was willing to become her husband after that whole situation. And I feel like he was the only person that really could, really tame her in the way that she needed to. I just could remember that scene where Keisha Cole, when she was at that reunion and there was a kiss between her and Booby, and she goes, well, will I be with them all right if I go ahead and kiss Marcus then? That shit was funny as hell when she said that. So that's every time I look at them, that's what I see in my head, is how Keisha Cole said she wanted to settle the score then. Because her and Booby were still technically married, sitting on that stage. Yeah.
That shows y'all right there. She didn't want him, and they finalized their divorce. She never went back to him. But until the papers is finalized, you don't know.
She did take a long ass fucking time.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. She took forever, and then she got with somebody who was young enough to be her child and made a child. I said, "Oh Lord, Keisha, what are you doing?" That's something somebody from the town would do. Anywho, they have that talk, and Safaree basically lets it slip that he and Eliza are a thing. I'm not going to get into it. I don't buy half of what Safaree says. He feels it's okay for him to say something, but not her. But at this point, they both said something, so I'm not going back and forth with it. But Ray J is there, and they show a whole little clip, a collaborative clip of all the times that Ray J runs to Princess or whoever will listen to gossip. This man was literally over the table like, did you hear about? I said, oh, hell, Ray J. What? He is so funny to me, but I've never really cared for Ray J and Princess Love on the show, and I don't think they belong there. Ray J has business in Miami, but other than that, he's got business on the West Coast, Princess business and Poker's on the West Coast. Their kids go to school in LA. So I'm like,
they're just weird, and they just extra space, and I'm just like,
no, they're bringing Love and Hip Hop Hollywood to this franchise. That's what I think is happening. You haven't peeped that? That's why Zell Swag is on Atlanta. Then you got Ray J, Marcus, Safaree. They all started on Hollywood. Now they're in a scene together. I think that they're not going to bring Hollywood back. I've been thought that. And so they're going to take the cast members because they got contracts and they're going to spread them out. And that's what they seem to do.
That's stupid. Because instead of just paying them out for whatever it is, it can't be that much. Like, y'all, because I feel like if they're bringing on Ray J and Princess, Brooke and Marcus, and then Zell Swag, that means at some point we're going to see Paris. At some point we're going to see A1 and Lyrica. At some point we're going to see, who else was on that fucking show? I know Moniece is not coming back because her contract is done. She said that out of her own mouth. Who else is on that show? I don't want to see April and Fizz. So
they're not together anyway. They've been broken. Shit.
But that's the last. But I think that was the last cast.
They were.
Oh, yeah, that was the last cast.
Supposedly dating that Tay Diggs. So I doubt that she gonna come on the show. But they spreading them out. I never liked Hollywood. It wasn't my favorite franchise. In the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." But then as they went on, it just started to feel manufactured and fake. So I was like, "I'm not fucking with this shit." I'm not. So I feel that way sometimes, specifically with Ray J and Princess and Safaree. No matter where Safaree goes, it feels fake though. So I'll add that. But yeah, they have their talk. I guess that they're setting up for obviously another episode. Ray J is probably going to spread something to his wife, and Princess, because she got a big mouth too, is going to spread that to other people. And that's going to become a thing. I don't see the big damn deal. Amara, you said yourself the relationship was fake, so you can never get mad about it. That's how I feel. So I'll leave that there. We are so close to done. So Trick and his team, child, they go and they meet again. Trick left after 3 hours. We spoke about this a little bit. I did it out of order, but Trick Daddy did not come back, even though Trina did eventually show up. So we will see what happens with that next week. Some of this felt like a filler episode to set us up for, I'm hoping the finale should, even though we only
Right.
6 episodes in.
Hopefully the finale. Hopefully there's no reunion.
I don't think they'll have a reunion. It seems like
I
they're
hope
done.
not, because there was nothing that happened that needs a reunion. I don't care about anything that has happened. I don't want to see Marlon, Flo, and Gael. I don't want to see Trick and Trina and Joy. I don't want to see Safaree and Namara's fake ass storyline. I don't want to see, and I don't want to see shit else. What else was there?
Well, we see Flo talk to Claudia, and Claudia claims she don't want her, lets her in. She was like, I don't want my neighbors hearing. Claudia, you know that was an Airbnb. Now, Claudia says that she gave Flo $10,000 when they're discussing their breakup for the rent that Flo has admitted to being behind on. Here's what I'm going to say before I continue. If this girl gave you $10,000 to pay that rent, where did the money go? Because Flo confirmed she is still going to be evicted potentially and is behind on her rent. And Flo seems like the type of thing that would be late on her rent and think that her looks or something will get her,
Claudia, post the check. Post, and I don't want you to write a check and then sign it and then act like you wrote her the check. Show where that deposit out of your bank account that you gave her this money, because I don't believe you got it like that. I just don't.
Honestly, where she was living, if you have $10,000 with her, that's an Airbnb or your house. If you got that just to spend, I think that you should be living somewhere that's different. I don't buy half of what they say, but this is what she claims happened. And they say that this is how Hot Topic knew that she was getting evicted, because it was Claudia who said something. I don't know. What I put in my notes is the fake breakup has been completed.
My thing is, it's funny you said that, because I questioned that. I say, if Claudia said that you were going to get evicted, why she didn't give you that $10,000 then, and then you paid it so you would avoid Bernice coming up there trying to shut it all down?
Yep.
Something ain't right about this story.
If she knew that you were getting evicted, right, and she says she gave you this money, it doesn't make sense, the timeline that she's.
It doesn't make sense either.
Hot Topic, it was before Flo and Claudia had the issue, so stop lying on TV, y'all.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. The timeline is wrong, and it doesn't make sense.
So the last bullshit, which will be ending this lovely Love and Hip Hop Miami recap with, is Amara La Negra revealing that she has a secret artist she's going to work with. We see that it's Safaree. I think that is corny. You've attacked people. You've gotten mad at interviews. Your storyline's been around him. So now you're going to take the controversy and do a song with him. Stop playing in our face. I don't want to hear music from Safaree. No shade to Amarta. I don't want to hear music from her. I know some of the Spanish crowds like her music. I've had some songs from the past, but I don't care anymore. I don't like when people try to stage coups to get us to pay attention. So that is it for this recap, y'all. I mean, we saw a clip. We know it'll be Safaree. We'll comment next week, but I don't care or believe it at all. So I actually think I'm enjoying Atlanta more this season. But
that's shocking.
That's shocking, right? Anyway, you guys, that was our recap. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment on your opinions if you agree or disagree with us. Subscribe to both channels. The link to James's channel is in the description. We are going to be going and starting our Love and Hip Hop Atlanta recap right after this one ends. But I appreciate you all. Wish you good fortune and hope you enjoy the rest of your weeks. Adios.
Adios.